After I completed designing the iPod, I decided to take a break for 3 years. During the second half of my break, I thought of now developing high quality Apple laptops, which would do a wonderful job, having longer lasting charge battery than normal laptop, along with the exact same fun app from the iMac, and that would serve the current generation of the 2000s, since desktops were starting to get outdated throughout the nation. For for this product, the process did not take much time either. The base requirement was to have a PowerBook G4 that contained a thick case, a built-in iSight camera, along with a wide flat screen. The first step was to have a new PowerBook G4, to which I could make endless edits. Uh, uh, After that, the next step would be to transfer and download all the apps and programs through a transferable cable cord from the iMac Mac one by one. Then the third step would be to color the entire hardware pure silver. This entire process took me 1 month, which was not long for me. After I completed designing the product, I launched it on January 10th, 2006. The launch turned out to be as successful as the iMac. After completing the MacBook Pro, I started thinking of developing high quality Apple cell phones in March 2006. Well, guess what? It turned out to be just the same situation, and process like with the MacBook Pro, but this time I did it with the help of Johnny Ive, and who helped me find the right hardware to use. We agreed to sign a deal with the AT&T company to provide us with a simple black cell phone, which we would use as the base, like we did with the PowerBook G4 for the MacBook Pro. Unlike the MacBook Pro, this process would instead involve two major steps. The first step would be to combine a simple black AT and T cell phone and the iPod together. The second step would be to transfer all the apps and programs from the MacBook Pro to the newfound Apple Cell iPhone. Since this time there were less steps, it only took 3 weeks to design it. Once the designing for the newfound Apple cell phone was completed, I decided to name it iPhone. After I named it, I arranged a meeting with Johnny Ive, and through a team decision, we agreed to have it launched on June 29th, 2007. once once the product was launched at the Moscone Center in San Francisco, the whole audience jumped up. The iPhone actually succeeded ahead of the iMac, MacBook Pro, and iPod. It turned out to be 5 times at higher demand than any of the three previous products. After I completed designing the iPhone in late 2007, I decided to design another type of MacBook laptop with a thinner hardware case. A lot of the process was the same, except that a different PowerBook would be needed. In spite of that, the process took even a shorter time, which was 3 weeks. 3 weeks. Before planning on when to launch it, I spent 2 weeks coming up with an alternate creative title. I thought that the title should contribute to the lightness of the thinner laptop. Within a string of 9 days, I ended up having the title be MacBook Air. After the title got published, there was a long team meeting with me and Johnny Ive for when and where to launch the product. We wanted the occasion to be bigger and more special, since we had developed a newer and a better type of laptop. To make this decision, it took 2 weeks. We decided to launch the new product. We decided to launch the new product. We decided to launch the new product on January 15th, 2008 at the Macworld conference and expo in Boston, Massachusetts. Once the product got unveiled, its level of attraction came at par with the iPhone. That meant it did at least three times better than the MacBook Pro, and was in equal demand with the iPhone. When I saw the audience jumping up wildly with joy, I fell into emotional tears of happiness. I felt I could not have a higher joy of my life than this. After I was done with the MacBook laptops, I thought of developing one last Apple product before I decided to retire from the company. I felt the time was coming to retire soon, since my health was starting to deteriorate every month since January 2009. After the first 2 months of my health deterioration, I went to the doctors to check check what my disease was. They revealed they 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 revealed it was an incurable cancer. This was a seriously unexpected. This was a seriously unexpected situation to them and me. Because of that, they strongly advised me to wrap up with my career as soon as possible and get my affairs in order, which is doctor's code for prepare to die. The final product which I decided to invent was through a computer tablet. I thought that it should have fancy and creative features such as shooting videos, taking photos, speaking through a microphone voice recorder, playing music, performing internet functions such as internet browsing along with emailing and downloading apps. This project would definitely require more steps than the previous ones in order to include all those features. The first step would be to develop a prototype power based tablet. For this one step, I took a lot of help from John Rubinstein, since he knew so well how to design hardware. The second step would be to transfer all the apps from a MacBook Pro or Air through a transferable cable cord. The third step would be to create two internal speakers, one for the left and one for the right, so that the speaker's voice could be heard clearly through the microphone voice speaker app. The fourth step would be to color the tablet pure white and have the screen be dusted pure black. The fifth and last step would be to put a silver film strip all over the screen, so that the product would stay fresh and clean. Doing all these steps took 3 months, which caused it to be very overwhelming and super duper tiring, since my health was down. Once it was done, me and Rubinstein had a quick team meeting and agreed to have it launched on January 27th, 2010 at an Apple press conference at the Yerba Buena Center in San Francisco, California. We had no doubt that this item would top every other previous product I had created. Once this final product got unveiled, its level of attraction and demand immediately succeeded ahead of all the previous ones. I felt that I had completed a long tiring journey and had reached my destiny by succeeding as CEO of the Apple company. After the audience finished cheering and applauding, I held I held my hand up in the air to have the audience quiet down. I, I gave a quick, short, inspiring farewell speech. I I expressed my pleasure to be CEO of the company and to develop all the products and the benefits of following your own path and passion, which would take you very ahead in life. I I, I hope you all understand this as well. Well, it is now time for me to get going. I thank you all for your time. Farewell, everybody.